This is something that I've been struggling with for, I'd go as far as saying my entire life, but it's only the last year or so that I've kind of put together a strategy that has pretty much solved the problem. So for as long as I can remember, my energy levels tend to drop quite significantly at around 1 to 3 p.m. And it happens every single day, regardless of if I get a good night's sleep that night, or if I eat super healthy, or if I seem to be doing everything right, I still get tired in the afternoon. But in this video, I'm going to go through the steps that I took to almost completely fix it. And super quick before we start, I've recently added 2.5 hours of extra lessons to the Transform Your Grades in 30 Days course, and I'm going to keep improving it and adding to it. My aim is to make it this kind of one-stop shop where if you're seriously looking to improve your grades, then the Transform Your Grades course has everything you need in a neat little package from more than 5 hours of lessons, one-on-one support from me, quizzes, a workbook, a productivity planner, a private community, and so many more other bonuses. So hit the link in the description. There's currently a 50% promotional offer happening right now. So back to the video. These are the steps that I took that stopped me from having that energy dip in the afternoon and really just helped me level out my energy levels so that they were far more even and constant throughout the day. Napping. I feel like napping is seen as a bit of a dirty topic in the whole productivity space. I feel like taking a nap during the day can be an awesome tool to combat fatigue. I like the idea of pushing yourself hard throughout the day, but also kind of going with the flow too, and somehow getting the right balance between self-discipline and just going with how you feel. And so if you really are feeling tired during the day, then often it's worth just having a 1 hour nap. Obviously, if you are able to. I mean, if you're at work or at school, then it's probably a lot harder, but if you can, I like the idea of being productive and getting a lot of work done in an easy kind of way, if that makes sense. So going with the flow rather than against it. So if you're feeling really tired, instead of having to fight it and just keep going and going, take a break, have a nap, and there's a good chance that you'll feel a lot better once you wake up. Inactivity. Inactivity can be a major cause of tiredness throughout the day. Back when I was in high school, so like more than 10 years now, I think this was probably the #1 factor that made me tired during the day, because I just wouldn't do anything. I mean, I wouldn't do anything physical. I'd just be sitting down, standing up, maybe walking very short distances, and that's about it. And there have been countless studies that show that exercise can reduce fatigue and stabilize energy levels. Even really minimum increases in physical activity seems to be beneficial. And what I've been doing recently is replacing sedentary behaviors with active ones. So for example, I'll stand up and work on my balcony for a couple of hours in the day rather than just sitting down at my desk. So I'll take the stairs instead of the elevator and try to walk rather than drive wherever possible. It's these kind of small things. And they are only small, but they do add up. And I'm definitely more active now than I used to be. I do a lot of exercise pretty much daily for at least an hour, and that definitely helps, which is kind of weird because you'd have thought that doing intensive exercise would make you more tired, right? But at least for me, it does the opposite. It wakes me up. Sleep. Not getting enough sleep is probably the most obvious point on this list. According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine and Sleep Research Society, adults need on average at least 7 hours of sleep every night to have optimal levels of energy throughout the day. And I think the single most important factor here is to wake up at the same time every morning and go to sleep at the same time every night. That for me is so important. I used to sleep whenever I felt like it. Sometimes it would be 11 p.m, other nights it would be 2 in the morning, and I'd wake up at different times too. So sometimes at 7 a.m. I'd be awake because I had to be awake for school, and on the weekends I'd sleep until 12 in the afternoon. So my sleeping pattern was all over the place. It wasn't until university that I actually got my sleeping pattern in check, and I started to go to sleep early and wake up at 4:45 a.m. and as cliche as this sounds, it was an absolute game changer. I just felt so much better throughout the day. My energy levels were more stable. I didn't go through such a big energy drop in the afternoon. I would procrastinate far less because I felt more motivated. It was pretty big, and it's actually really easy to wake up early. I woke up at 4:45 a.m. every single day for 3 years at university, and I made an entire video on it on how you can wake up early surprisingly easily. You can click on the pop-out banner above to watch it. calorie intake. Consuming too few calories can cause your energy levels to drop. Your body obviously needs enough food for fuel, and if it isn't getting there, then your metabolism can slow right down to conserve energy, resulting in fatigue. But at the same time, eating too much can cause the same problem. I know with me, if I have a massive meal, especially if it's junk food, then I'll just want to go to sleep after, right? I think it's called a food coma, where your body goes into this state of fatigue because it has to digest all the food you just put in it. So everyone is different, but for me, I make sure that I don't have any super big meals because I know that would just kill my productivity for the next few hours. Hydration. So hydration is something that is often overlooked when it comes to feeling fatigued during the day, but it's something that is so easily avoidable. Several studies have shown that even mild dehydration can lead to lower energy levels and lower performance at work. Generally, 8 glasses of water are recommended a day. However, that may be more or less depending on other factors such as your weight, your age, your gender, level of activities, and humidity of your environment. And it's pretty straightforward. I just make sure that I have either a water bottle next to me when I'm working or a glass of water, because if it's always there next to me, then I'll keep seeing it, so it will keep reminding me to stay hydrated. Energy drinks. So energy drinks can be awesome for a quick energy boost, but I still wouldn't recommend them because caffeine and sugar can give you that quick boost, but you'll soon feel rebound fatigue when the effects start to wear off. So there was actually a study back in 2012 that reviewed 41 other studies, and it found that consuming energy drinks increased the alertness and improved the mood of the participants for several hours, but actually the participants' energy levels dropped significantly below normal levels the next day. So it's actually saying if you're drinking energy drinks one day, then it's mainly the next day that you'll feel the negative side effects. And I love working in coffee shops. I feel that environment is where I'm at my most productive. And so I used to go to coffee shops pretty much every day. Therefore, I was drinking at least a coffee every single day. But it did get to the point where I was getting too reliant on the caffeine from the coffee to maintain my energy levels because my body was getting so used to it. And it took a conscious effort to decrease my coffee consumption. So now I'm at a coffee shop once a week maybe, which I think is pretty okay. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates can be an incredible source of energy. When you eat them, your body breaks them down into sugar, which can then be used for fuel. However, the problem comes when you eat too many refined carbohydrates. So these are foods like white rice, bread, pizza, breakfast cereals, that kind of thing. And although these carbs will give you almost immediate energy, they'll also spike your blood sugar levels, which will then subsequently fall, which can leave you feeling exhausted. And there have been multiple studies that have shown this. So for example, a 2013 study by researchers Park, Yu and Chang found that these refined carbohydrates significantly reduced the average energy levels of a sample of 239 Korean college students. In another 2014 study, researchers gave snacks high in refined carbs to one group of children before a football game, and they gave the second group of children peanut butter snacks. And the group of children with the refined carb snacks reported more fatigue than the children that ate peanut butter snacks. So to keep your energy levels more stable, replacing these refined carbs such as white rice and bread with whole foods such as vegetables can be a better substitution. But like I mentioned earlier in this video, you really need to get your sleep in order first. I think should be the priority. If you are having problems with low energy during the day, start with your sleep. Get that fixed first. So getting at least 7 hours of sleep a night and waking up and going to sleep at the same time every day. I also made a video on how I stay productive even when I'm feeling super unmotivated. You can click on the card on the screen to watch that, because I'm sure a lot of you are in that position where you're feeling tired but you still need to push yourself to work. There are a few really helpful strategies in that video. Alternatively, I also made a video on why it's so hard to sit down and study. Both really important videos. And finally, the Transform Your Grades course is on offer, 50% discount, link in the description below.